like a weird blend of like you would be playing or you would be playing PvP, team team versus team, but you would have like a battle buddy, so you were paired with like one other person, and you guys could like give each other ammo. And I mean, like literally, like if you ran out of ammo in a gunfight, you could rip a mag out of your vest and toss it to your buddy mid fight. He'd catch it and slam it in his gun and keep going.
That's cool.
You could like it was just like there was a lot of really cool things that had like a lot of cool potential. And it just, I think people who were really, really into like gun culture in the military at the time probably played it, but it wasn't enough to keep the interest. And EA, like they're about the dollars. So if it's not generating revenue, they were like, yeah, fuck it. Like, let's move along. So,
I'll be honest, I didn't even know about that they rebooted that, and I just looked it up. It came out in 2020, which wasn't that long ago.
No, it didn't.
That's what I just looked it up.
More than that, guaranteed. It might be, they might have done something else with it.
I know the Medal of Honor games are older because I've played them before, but there's a Medal of Honor game called Above and Beyond. It came out in 2020.
Yeah, Medal of Honor Warfighter is the sequel, the one that I'm talking about, and it released October 5th, 2012.
Son of a bitch.
I will say that Medal of Honor, I think that might have been my first introduction to like somewhat more realistic, like historical warfare games. And I think that would be my favorite stuff because that's where Call of Duty spun off of, right? Was Medal of Honor like the original games?
I couldn't say for sure, but as a consumer of video games, I definitely Honor Airborne before I played Duty 2 or Call of Duty, which was in that same. And so yeah, I think so. That sounds accurate. I wouldn't sue you if you.
Yeah. I think one of my first
sounds good.
Game. I think one of my first person shooter games was Battlefield 1942. And it ran on my computer, and it wasn't a gaming computer at all, and it ran like actual dog shit. But if you ever played the game, it was a good one.
I haven't played 1942 in a long time, but DJ, what's your biggest disappointment game if you have one?
Man, I'm gonna say Warzone, and the reason I'm gonna say Warzone is because it was personal. So when we first started playing Warzone, it was great. Get online with your buddies, have a couple drinks, play through, and you're not gonna win every single one, but like our little crew, we were getting
yeah, we were doing well.
We were doing good. We had a system planned out, but after a certain point, it was just like it was frustrating to play. Like I was physically getting mad to play it, and Activision wasn't doing anything to like fix that. Like you just run
fix
around
you getting mad.
No, well, just the problems with the game. Like,
yeah,
the amount of hackers at the time that we got off the game was insane. Like insane amount, and they didn't do anything for about 4 or 5 months after we got already off the game.
I never understood that because a lot of in the worst time for hackers in Warzone, there were cheat companies actually advertising like just like a gaming company like advertising, hey, try our cheats out for a free week, and it's like, Activision, can you not sue these people, please, for breaking TOS on your game? Like,
so
please.
I have a mod trainer. It's called WeMod, and I use it for other games. But there is Warzone hacks in there. We had to pay for them, right? Because obviously they're going to try to make money off of it. So obviously Activision is going to make money, but obviously the cheaters want to make money too. But like, it was just like so disappointing because it was such a good time to play, and what really sucked for us was me and Tyler got off Warzone, and our other friends that we play with were still on Warzone. So like, it's kind of just me and Tyler after that, right? We were playing, or we played right after that. It was the Hunter Call the Wild.
Yeah, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, sounds right. A lot slower.
Just something different change of pace.
Early Warzone was so good.
It was,
that would be.
It was really good.
My take on it. Game first came out, it was amazing. So, playing solo, I was playing in teams, I was getting wins in both. I think where it went wrong for me was just fatigue, but I think a lot of like I'm someone who, I mean, from the conversation we had earlier, like you can kind of like use tactics and try and play as a team and that sort of thing, which is why I was drawn to Escape from Tarkov to begin with. But there's this, I don't even know what to call it, but there's this thing that occurs to games now. Gaming communities get a hold of it, where people don't try and move slowly and methodically and clear corners and stuff anymore. It's like the slide canceling sprint jump around corners crowd will show up and what's up?
They got to get the clips for the TikTok.
Well, whatever it is, man, it wrecks my shit and it fucking ruins the time for me. It's infuriating as someone who does some real life firearms training and that's just where the draw was. Like Modern Warfare 2019 for me is the closest that Call of Duty's been in a long time to putting out a really good military shooter. And I was in love with it. Like I played so much of that game, but like a couple of months into Warzone, maybe 4 months into Warzone, 6 months, probably somewhere in there, I feel like the gameplay just changed. Like everyone was slide canceling and they're constantly switching weapons because you get a fucking, boost or something like that. And it just turned into a fucking clown show, honestly. It turned into Fortnite, a first person Fortnite. And it really did kill it for me. Like I would rather play Fortnite now than Modern Warfare or than Warzone, because that's like one of the other one is, it clearly turned into something else, but it likes to act like that, oh, we're a serious game. Like, no, the fuck you're not. I just got killed by a guy that's slide canceling in a bunny suit. You know what I mean? Like,
it really went off.
Fuck off. You're not a serious game.
It really went off the rails when they started adding the other games, weapons and stuff into it too. It got really complicated and there were so many broken like metas or whatever. And
I feel like, and you probably would know this better, so if I'm totally off base here, let me know. But I feel like one of the things I noticed as someone who stayed on the top of the battle pass for the first, several months, I felt like they blatantly threw weapon balancing out the window in favor of whatever the new guns were.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. You remember the DMR?
The MAC-10 is the one that was the most egregious because
the MAC-10
DMR.
You could for real pay to win on that.
Exactly. It was DMR MAC-10, and that combo was like,
oh my god, the fucking DMR days were literally
me and
Valheim came out. That's why we played so much.
Yeah, me and other Tyler, when we were playing one time and we rocking the DMRs, and this was like when it first came out, and we got like 20 bombs a piece, like with no problem. Like the DMR was.
It's like, hey, you're not good.
Silly.
Here's a DMR. All you got to do is spam.
Oh, and you know what? If you buy tiers up to level 50 in the battle pass, there's one already with the perfect attachments just waiting for you.
Yeah. See, it's got to be planned. They planned.
Yeah, and that's bullshit, dude. I hated that, and that's one of the me that just was I was like, okay, I'm probably checking out of this.
That's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, and I'm. What's up?
Warzone 2 when it comes out. Are we gonna try it?
I'll play at the beginning, yeah, because it'll be good for about a month.
Yeah.
I was gonna say play until you get angry.
Yeah.
Well,
I think I'll get my money out of the multiplayer in the new Modern Warfare, and the story. Like I like the story to the last 2019 Modern Warfare.
Yep, 2019.
And I want to see where they go with it from here. I think it was really, and
as S&D in the new one and the new hostage mode, I'm pretty excited about. They added a lot of mechanics, in my opinion, from Rainbow Six Siege. There's tactical cameras you can throw like Zero. There's like deployable decoys like the alibi operator in Rainbow Six. There's like cluster charges that can go through walls like there's just a ton of stuff like that. I think I'm getting, because I'm the same. I like to use my brain to try to outsmart people. That's super satisfying in multiplayer games. Like outsmarting another human in a multiplayer game is so satisfying.
It's the best.
So I'm hoping to come up with like some really cool strats and stuff. Like we kind of like I've used in Rainbow Six Siege to take on like casual people playing Call of Duty. I think it might be kind of fun. Have you guys heard much about the DMZ mode, the Tarkov like mode coming to Warzone 2?
No,
a little bit. But I mean,
So
I had such a sour taste in my mouth from Warzone that like most Call of Duty news, I kind of overlook it.
gotcha. Well, it's something you guys might be interested in, especially like if Tarkov sounds cool to you, but it's a little bit too hardcore. I just did a video on it where I kind of rounded up everything we know so far. But I mean, in the game, it's going to be a lot like Tarkov. It's going to be an extraction type mode. Like the whole map is going to be open. There's no circle or anything, and there's already like there's going to be a lot of challenges. There's going to be a lot of loot and things you can find in different missions, like take over this base. There's a lot of AI and strongholds and stuff like that. There's
That
like
sounds
loot
super
caches and
interesting.
stuff, and it's an extraction mode. So like in their official world, in their official like little teaser at COD Next, they said like you choose your own win conditions. So like it's just like Tarkov. We're like, hey, this raid, we're gonna try to knock out this challenge or this mission. And there's like some lore type missions and stuff in there too, that are likely coming. About like there's like AI bosses, so you have to go take them out and loot. They have like a special weapon on them, and you have to extract with it. So it's kind of like a Tarkov light.
Yeah, dude. Jesus Christ. I can't remember the guy's name, but the one that's in Interchange is such a motherfucker. Like
Killa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's
He's a
shit.
PKM, right? Or did they change it?
No RPK. In
RPK.
RPK with Eaglenik.
It's brutal.
And it's bugged. You know what's the scav bosses are bugged where they shoot you once and it counts as 3 bullets. So you get one tapped in the chest and you're done.
That sounds like a super good, great way to invest my evening at some point in the future.
Great mechanic.
Yeah, good times. That's a feature, not a bug.
So
Well,
like it could be really cool. I feel like it's a AAA studio like first shot at doing an extraction Tarkov type mode.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be
I'd
really
be interested in checking
to see
that
what
out.
they do.
Battlefield, I think,
let's,
tried that, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
2042 had something similar to that, but I heard it was shit. I never touched it. So
the base, like the skeleton of a game was there. The mechanics and stuff, how it played was like kind of cool, but there was just no reason to keep playing it, right? The economy was totally not even a thing. Like if you extracted twice, you never had to worry about money again. Like you buy your weapons before you go in. If you extracted twice, you never have to go in again. And the whole reason to go, you never have to worry about money again. Like, so you just buy whatever you want. So the money is useless. The object was to go buy hard drives. And when you pick up hard drives, you can appear to a hard drive scanner on the map. So all we would do is there's no reason to pick up hard drives because you don't need any more money. So we would just wait till the other teams picked up the hard drives, go kill them all, and then extract. I ended on a 25 extract streak. I was just playing it like a crappy BR. Like just to kind of expose like how shallow the gameplay was. We would just wait till the other teams picked him up, scanned him, went and killed him, got out. I've extracted 5 times in a row. Like there's nothing left for me here.
That's tough. That's the equivalent
There's no
extraction camping in Tarkov, which I may or may not have done in my past lives, but
we were friends.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, well,
yeah.
Let's move on. So the next topic is first person shooters that changed the genre. So this is going to go like kind of way back because a lot of them are the same now, but like let's start with Josh. What do you think is the first person shooter that changed the genre?
So during this whole time I'm trying to decide. I have like 3 that come to mind, so I'm trying to decide what they are. But I mean, between for different reasons, there's like Doom, Quake, those 2 really kind of fall into a similar thing. And the other one was GoldenEye.
Ooh,
when you're talking about multiplayer. And then the other one I was thinking of is more of a personal thing that really introduced me to FPSs after, because Doom and Quake were I was pretty young when those came out, and I did play them. But the one that really like stuck with me as I got older and played more games outside of like the SNES was Soldier of Fortune. And that was my first PC shooter. You guys never
remember if I've played that? I've heard of it.
Man, Soldier of Fortune was great. So Soldier of Fortune
I did.
It's a first person. It was like for the time really nice looking on a PC and extremely gory.
It was very gory. That's what I remember about it. Yeah,
body parts exploding and things like that. The campaign was awesome, and that really kind of drew me in for a long time to those kinds of FPSs. And led me into end up playing like things like Call of Duty and stuff like that before they chopped the campaign down to like 2 hours play. So that was more of a personal like change of the genre for me. This or important part of the genre for me, I should say, was Soldier of Fortune, where the others like Doom, the fact that there's like a technical marvel really that it's all top down that they programmed it. And because at the time I guess they didn't have the technology to actually have that camera mode where you're shooting forward facing camera. Yeah. So it's all top down, just made to look like it like you're playing in first person. And then like GoldenEye, like I said, with the multiplayer, that's really what drew me into co-op and multiplayer and things like that. Just so many memories playing through that, and I probably one of the most hours I've ever played in the game in my life through my childhood, I should say, was GoldenEye. So those really, I couldn't really choose between them. So I'm sorry if I stole that from anyone.
No, you're all good, man.
Yeah.
I think both of those are first of all, Soldier of Fortune, tip of the hat for that. That was surprisingly a pretty realistic game, I think, for back when it came. From what I remember, was shockingly accurate to what people might find themselves in sometime in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, it was a little action movie-esque in certain parts. I remember like there was a train level, so you're like running across the roof of the train and between cars and explosions and things like that. But yeah, it was definitely one of my first introductions into a more realistic shooter like that.
Yeah, I remember shooting people in the kneecap and it like legs off and stuff and being like, "Holy shit!"
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you, Travis?
For me, yeah. So it would have to. So, like I said, my time frame's like a little off for most people. I'm kind of like more recently played like Halo with my friends and GoldenEye once in a while and stuff. But like what got me serious into gaming, I think it's kind of a layup, is PUBG. It changed everything for gaming, and everything turned into everything. And every AAA studio had to come out with a BR after that. I think the Battle Royale was like in the last several years, that's got to be something that's completely changed the FPS genre. With PUBG, I used to play quite a bit with my friends on PS4 and stuff, but when PUBG came out, that's what got me into realizing there were videos of people playing games, because I would watch Shroud and Doc on Twitch play PUBG. It was like I would just watch them for hours, and then it came out on console. I didn't have a PC on the time. I kind of did video work for a long time for other people, but I always had Mac stuff, so I couldn't really play like PC games. Yeah. And then eventually, when it came out on Xbox, it was going to be Xbox exclusive. I went and sold my PlayStation and bought an Xbox so I could play PUBG. Because like I switched consoles so I could play PUBG. I put so many hours into it, and then I feel like there's just been so many things that have changed because of PUBG.
I mean, the Battle Royale genre period almost started.
Yeah,
with
and I
PUBG.
realized it wasn't the first one, but it was like the first one to like blow up, and it came from like it came from like an Arma mod and DayZ mod and. Like
I blame it for a lot of games like wasting resources into making battle royales for their game, because that game was great for what it was, and then it was like, oh, there's money in this. All these companies are like, now we gotta transfer these resources away from what made these games good to make a battle royale so we can make money. So I'm a little bitter towards PUBG for that reason, but by itself, it's I can see what you're saying. It's definitely a marked difference in the whole game industry, really.
Worse, it changed.
Oh, yeah. It did.
No question about that. We just talked about that, didn't we, recently?
Kind
of. About BRs and stuff. Because I blamed it on Fortnite. With people realizing, oh shit, we can make money off this. Fortnite was not the first, but Fortnite was the first one to make $1 billion off a free-to-play game, and it broke the gaming industry.
The thing about Fortnite is that it didn't even start off as a battle royale. It started off as a cool. I
played it. I played it when it first came out. There was no BR mode at all. Yeah. It was like an actual like PVE.
It's like base building with PVE and co-op and stuff like that. And it was a really cool idea. And then they're like, oh, battle royale. and they just basically that just dropped off the face of the planet.
No,
I was really
I
disappointed.
actually I bought Fortnite when it first came out, and it was like $15 early access, and there was no BR. It was all like it was PVE, and you like built your base or whatever, and then you defended it, and it was actually a really fun game at the time.
Yeah.
And then the BR thing came out, and it was all fucking over the place. And
I mean, I can't blame them. Like you said, $1 billion, and now
yeah,
Epic
right,
is
right.
like they're just
Fucking make
throwing
your
money out
money.
the window now.
Yeah, there was a because of Fortnite, there was a battle royale mode in Forza. It started in Forza Horizon 4. There was
all over the place.
Yeah,
Oh,
BR
God.
mode in a card game, which I mean, honestly, it's kind of fun, right? But
Come to think of it, now that I just this idea just hit me, but like I've been with Epic and Fortnite generally because I do feel like it kind of like poisoned the industry. We're recovering from this, where people realize absolute metric shitload of money by like putting out shallows like battle pass, all this stuff that
I hate.
does it
battle
really affect
passes, man.
anything? Not really.
That's
Warfare did that one time where you could just pay for good guns, but in Fortnite, everyone is essentially equal, right? It's just depending on how you look or if you want free game lobby, like who cares, right? But a lot of that money and put it into Unreal Engine 5 development and well for people at a price that's actually affordable now. Like we were talking to Nate the other day about the fact that he's been able to make this really, really cool solo dev game in Unreal Engine 5, and it doesn't cost him his firstborn child and 3 mortgage payments or whatever. Like
it doesn't
Yeah, it
cost
actually
anything
looks-
unless you make a lot of money.
what? No, the game
cool that they
looks-
can afford to do that though.
Yeah, the game looks amazing. If you have not seen it, the Axis Unseen, it looks incredible.
Yeah, the visuals
And,
are
like,
fucking knock you off the fucking stool.
Yeah, and I've
kinda
seen him
really cool.
I've seen him like devlogs of him on a picnic table camping using UE5 to build the game like across from a lake. Like it's so easy to use, and it's I think Unreal Engine 5 is just gonna push so many things.
Did Ian talk to you about the game he made on Unreal, or was he
No.
too humble about it?
Ian didn't mention that at all. He just said he
Yeah,
didn't
he-
like Bloodborne, so we didn't talk to him.
Ian
after
made
that.
a whole Ian made a whole ass game on Unreal recently, which you can it's called the Immaculate Drag. You can find it on Steam. It's pretty cheap too, which I think is criminal. Ian, if you're listening, should have bumped up that price. But anyway,
Ian,
yeah,
you can send us a free key. That'd be cool. That's the
You
only
probably
It was
would.
$5, my guy.
I don't even
Pony
think
up.
it's $5. I think it's like $3. I think he had it, but yeah, he made a whole ass game, and even now I'm actually doing a game jam with him. Just Unreal 5, just learning blue. It's easy to learn too, and that's the thing. He's showing me blueprints. It's all visual scripting. You don't even have to know C++ or C# necessarily. You just have to have the logic in your head and kind of know how to use the engine. So it's awesome that they're doing that, despite the fact that they ruined things with battle passes and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Overwatch 2 is like getting screwed with battle passes. I think they're like locking characters behind some of those battle passes.
It's sad. It really is sad because it's like, man, if you're in it to make money, like your product at the end of everything is going to be shit, right?
It depends in the gaming industry. What I feel like a lot of times was stuff. A lot of times the product's not great. I will say, as greedy as Gran Turismo 7's economy was, the fuck as it sits right now is second to none.
Yes, but overall,
not a shit game.
No, it's not a
but
shit game. But overall,
but it has a great.
And you
there is a huge shift in money. If you want to do something wild, and maybe you guys have done this, but if you search online for like EA or Activision gaming patents, there's some wild stuff in there. I've made videos on a few of them about just incredibly intricate and complex systems that are just around keeping you playing and buying cosmetics. And like so many resources go into keeping you and buying cosmetics, like algorithms and how they pair you in lobbies to other people who have bought those. So they'll, like Call of Duty had one where, especially in like the Black Ops 3 time, it would put you in lobbies with better KD players that had the DLC weapons. And so they would kill you, so it would make you want them. And then after you bought them, it would put you in easier lobbies to make you feel good about your purchase. Like so many
shady.
things like that, and like algorithms and stuff to keep people playing games is crazy. And like battle passes suck in my opinion because you're not paying money for nothing. You're paying money for the opportunity to earn it. Like so, even if if something happens, like if you switch games or you get busy in real life and you don't get to finish out the battle pass, you just donated money for nothing. I hate battle passes for that reason.
You guys mentioned too about
sounds good, man.
You guys mentioned too about the what was it? Forza doing a battle royale type thing. You know, what would make a good battle royale would be a Twisted Metal one.
Yep. Yeah, because the game was literally built around that sort of thing. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they bring that back and turn it into something like that without being too greedy with the stupid passes and things like that, I think that would be really good. I might actually go play that.
Yeah, I would check that out. I think if for nothing else, probably the nostalgia of it, but that's a really good idea. You should sell that.
It is.
Sony on that. You should call them.
Yeah.
You guys can have this one. 10%.
10% for their IP.
Well, hey, it's not they don't have a battle royale to my knowledge, so you know.
Everybody has to have one.
Yeah, you have to have one. Honestly, the Halo Infinite release, we were in fucking trouble because I saw so many videos. Content creators were coming out and talking about how Halo was going to be dead on arrival because of the lack of a BR. And I'm like, Halo doesn't fucking need a BR, guys. They needed content and they didn't put it out, and now it feels like it's probably dead. But you know, that's a game where that it changed the genre. I think player really taught us what online gaming could be. Might not have been the first, but for me at least, that was the
okay.
Let me get Xbox Live and play Halo 2 with my friend. It changed how I viewed video games. And that only happened to me.
Getting
it was all split
screen. Getting screen sniped. That was always the best.
It was that predates being stream sniped for those of you listening. So yeah, no, I think that one changed the game for me, and that only happened a few times in my life as a gamer, where I played something and it like profoundly made me go, oh shit, like this is way different now. I talked about a couple episodes ago about how like Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion made me realize that like I'm actually a nerd. I didn't know that before I played that game, and then I was like, this is my favorite game of all time. I think I might be a nerd. This is amazing. But Halo did that for me for first person shooters, Halo 2 specifically with the online stuff. I think it just really anything. Well, I guess for the time it was innovative. I was going to say it wasn't terribly innovative at the time, you know, being able to jump live and play that caliber of a game was just, it wasn't something. That would be my entry for
well, Bungie, that was the first time Bungie really showed, because you know, mentioning Destiny, how the one part I like is just how smooth their gunplay is and their mechanics are so solid, and Halo was their first, you know, like look how well we can do this, you know what I mean? And Halo was actually fun as opposed to Destiny. So
I will say that I don't know if Tyler, what game did you mention? It was on a beer run.
Halo.
Oh,
Halo 2 specifically, about how it you know, it kind of it was the first like massive everybody can play this online with their buddies and go.
So I will say for me, the first person shooter game that changed everything, my view of how I view first person shooters and how I think they should be, was and that was awesome. The guys on Twitch right now, Bad Company 2. I mean, there were so many creative ways you could like plan your tactics around to take down some people. Travis, you just smiled. You ever played Bad Company 2? Oh yeah.
So after I started, I felt like after I started my channel for Battlefield and I into the franchise late, I felt like kind of a fraud So I went back and watched videos and kind of studied those older things and stuff like that. And Bad Company 2 was hilarious. Like, it was awesome.
Oh my god! So there'd be like there's one map, and I couldn't tell you the name of it right now, but there's these houses, and there's like a base on each side, right? Classic, first person shooter setup. And if people used to camp in these houses, and if you were the sniper class, you got C4, and you could C4 the four corners of the house, and then just explode it, and the whole house
Bring
would
the
come
whole
down,
thing down.
and
Yeah.
it would kill everyone in it, and it was just like it was sweet, like you could taste it. It was so
Yeah,
good.
it's just like fuck you, campers.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
that
in
exact
past
thing,
games, yeah, you would have had but not this one.
that exact thing is why I am so sad that DICE dropped the ball with Battlefield 5's Firestorm. It was a BR that they did with Battlefield 5, and people hated on it because the looting was like a little janky and stuff.
Yeah.
It was so awesome to have those Battlefield mechanics where if someone was camping in a house, would just take down the house. It's not a problem. Like, that was so cool to have in a BR. I'm so sad about that too.
It's taking down a house with there's campers in it, like just collapsing on them it's round and chocolatey at the end. Like you can
So
feel
good.
it in your mouth. It tastes so good. You just like you
Like a
fuckers.
fucking
you think
Lindor
you're so
truffle. You're
smart.
just like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. I think that one of the games that where I love sniping, because that was the first game that I played that had like where you had a over distance. And it was so fun, and it was crazy because you would end up in these matches, right, where you a little nemesis on the other side, like if you were sniping, right, where you'd constantly be shooting each other back and you'd try and outsmart that guy and be like, I got you, motherfucker, like I got you pinned down, now you're done. It was the best.
Just so good. And like I used to get like I've never been so like hyped playing online with friends than I was when I was playing Bad Company 2, because like, oh man, you get like a clean shot as a sniper, like you're just like pumped, and you're like, hey guys, go capture the Charlie flag or whatever. Like it's the sniper's fucking dead. I got him. It's fucking over.
This is not on topic as far as our prompt, but we're talking about is I think in the past, one of the things outside of the fact that the gameplay was really good, I think one of the things that's underrated about the Battlefield series, and one of the things that's so immersive about them, is the soundscape, like the audio and the way that they've done like the echo of gunshots. Even
Battlefield 1's audio, dude, that was the most immersive
incredible
game. Oh my gosh, yes.
The zip snap your head, like I just don't feel like a lot of games, like I don't know, it's just like a frenzy to being in combat. Like I feel
audio
like
is so important. A couple games have come close to Insurgency Sandstorm has ridiculously good audio.
Yeah, and, I haven't played Sandstorm, but the first Insurgency had good audio too.
Hunt Showdown has insane audio. They have Steam audio in there, and they use all like 12 capsules of Steam audio, and it's super crazy good too. But those are the two games for audio that's like,
really interesting to me, though.
I know what you're talking about in that Battlefield audio, though. As much as I get angry at that game, one of the things is just as soon as you spawn in, it's just like explosions, and like you said, the crack of the bullets hitting something beside you. It like I physically like duck down when I first hop into a map in that game. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, So I totally get where that's coming at. That is one of the better aspects of that.
True, and I think they totally lost that with 2042. Like it's not immersive in the least.
I did enough to say anything about the soundscape, but I mean it. Like unfortunately, a lot of games nowadays they're building games like the sales numbers, which I understand. Like nowadays, like you need to make money to justify building the game, but I hate the fact that these do that at the like expense. And I think that's what happened with Battlefield. There's a lot of time Battlefield fans are so isolated from the franchise now.
Yeah, I said this in like kind of one of my farewell to Battlefield videos. Like I've come to realize I'm no longer the target demographic for that franchise, and it's so sad.
We've talked about
where they
it on the
got so
show.
like you run around in 2042 and you have all these specialists doing their funny little quips, and it's funny and hilarious and like little one-liners and stuff. And then I go back and I still play a lot of Battlefield 5 like several times a month. I love that game, but even further back, even more immersive in my opinion, like Battlefield 1, you play that game, like listen to the soundtrack and get in the game, hearing the people screaming in the trenches and the bullets going by and like a horse running, and it almost makes me like emotional. Like it's so sad to see like how much it's changed.
Yeah,
But that's total boomer talk. But
we talked about
it does
before on the
happen though
podcast.
as we play. Go ahead.
Yeah, we
Yes,
talked about one on the
again.
podcast. If they made like, if they were like, hey, we're making Bad Company 3, like, if they actually kept to the core elements of what made those games really good, and they made like a Bad Company 3, oh my god, so many people would.
I could see them doing that with Vince Zampella's in charge of Battlefield too. So we were talking about who made the first Modern Warfare, who made Titanfall, who made Apex Legends, is now in charge of Battlefield 2. So it's going to be interesting. He just came out and did an interview and talked about how they went wrong in 2042 and they tried to change too many things and make it not Battlefield. And he talked about all that stuff.
I haven't seen that, but I want to check that out now, because that was my first thought was when I saw the character stuff when they were doing specialists. Is it specialist? That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just like, this isn't Battlefield. Like, your sniper shouldn't have a rocket launcher if they want to. Like, too much freedom is a bad thing. People need structure and rules. It's just like, it's like when someone says, what do you want? Like anything. It's like, that means so many things. It means nothing to me. Like, I think that's kind of what happened.
I've learned this in, being a husband and a father. It means Chick-fil-A. That's what they want. They want Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Okay.
It means an
like
hour-long argument for me.
Yeah, for me, it's like, what do you want? I don't know. Oh, okay, Chick-fil-A. Got it. On my way.
See, I
don't know. I've never heard
my
of that
default
restaurant.
is if it's ever like an I don't know.
Pause. Travis, what did you say?
You misheard. My wife will always say I don't know, and I'm like, I've never heard of that restaurant.
Okay,
I've never heard of the restaurant called I don't know. I'm all about Chick-fil-A. We're good.
Okay, I thought you were like, trying to say you didn't know about Chick-fil-A. I was like,
no, we're good. I don't live that far in the sticks in Kansas.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure
to understand. Yep, we're good. Gotta check that.
So let's talk about games to keep an eye on. I think we ready on the one that we're all thinking right now, and that is to see like how does that shake out. Does anyone else know that are coming out?
I have a couple. I have one I'm dying to tell Josh about.
Okay.
Based on what I've heard, like you enjoying a video game. Have you guys seen Road to Vostok at all?
No.
This is being done by a solo developer, and it looks amazing. It looks a lot like Tarkov, so that same immersion, but it's just PvE. And he's actually gonna have a playtest. I'm really hoping to talk to him on our program. But he's doing a playtest later in the week. I think next week is the first playtest, testing out some of the stuff. But he's been doing a devlog where he's showing going out and modeling a lot of the stuff. So it takes place between, I think, Russia and Finland, I believe, and kind of the border zone there. And you're traveling this road to the town of Vostok, but it's PvE.
That sounds
so.
That part rings a bit of a bell. Maybe I have heard of it, but that's actually really cool. I
have heard of it.
I love PvE
I was
stuff.
gonna actually, funny story, like today I saw this game on Twitter and I was gonna send him a message to try to give him the show. But I saw he was in Finland, and sometimes our scheduling for people who are ahead of us in time doesn't work out very well. So I didn't, but now I'm gonna send him a message and I'm gonna try to get him on the show.
It's really cool what he's doing, and I love the vlogs, and I've just been super impressed with how he's also kept up with his schedule. He has like a roadmap, and he's like next he calls them WIP work in progress videos on his YouTube. He's like, the next one I'm going to showcase this and this and this, and like it's done. Like he does it. Like he's sticking to the roadmap, and it looks and it looks like a lot of fun, and it looks like I'm hoping you can kind of get in that same like Tarkov immersion without all the headaches that we talked about earlier.
I think that would be a super.
I'm pretty excited about that.
That would be such a an opportunity for it. You said it's a solo dev, right? Yeah, I just think that would be.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Drinking.
Yeah,
But yeah,
good.
definitely solo.
Kind of fill that gap in because I do think that there are a lot of people who are just feel a little disenfranchised in a way from, like I put in a lot of time and money into Tarkov when it came out, basically from the alpha up until a little after Shoreline was released. And then it was just kind of like, I don't think this is for me anymore. And also my life about it. But, I'm sure I'm not the only one. And I think that there probably are a lot of people who are kind of like, hey, the game was really good when it first came out. And I don't know that I love how it plays now. So it'd be, kind of build a passion project that carves out a little bit of that market and caters to some of us who want the immersion and the customization and that sort of stuff without, like you said, all the grind and the headaches. So best of luck to them. And yeah, maybe we can get them in for a conversation at some point.
I'm pretty hopeful about that one. And then I also have another one, but you guys go ahead. We'll come back.
I have nothing other than Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
I'm not in the.
Oh, really?
Well, I got some just quick ones I could go over. The really stupid one, but High on Life that I'm looking forward to, which
that's
is
the Rick and Morty one, right?
The Rick and Morty.
Yeah, it looks hilarious.
Where you got these guns that just like fucking bitch at you the entire time.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That one's coming out, I think, in December. And then another one for you guys who like slightly more realistic stuff and kind of like harder stuff. And I think Ian's looking forward to this because he's the one that was talking to me about it, I think, before, is Stalker 2 coming out next year.
Yes.
Harder Chernobyl.
Forgot about that.
That's just kind of like an honorable mention for me because I've never played the first one. I've seen playthroughs of it. I've watched Ian play, and I've watched some stuff on YouTube. But it was always kind of intimidating, that game. So I'm thinking I might give the second one a try when that comes out.
I was heavily inspired by Stalker. They're very similar.
Yeah, that's part of it. I'm not sure how I'll do it. I might watch a little bit first just to see. But
yeah, it would depend on entry for me. But full $70 for me, probably not. But we'll see. I mean, I'll check out some. I will say, actually, I said I didn't have anything to talk about, but stuff to keep an eye on for folks listening. If you haven't played it, or if like early access games aren't your thing, I do really want to echo. I think Ready or Not is worth your time and money. It's a really good game. You can play it with up to 4 odds. Up to 10 is as high as I've seen people do. There's a really active mod community. The developers are super active, and they're putting out up. I think their environmental storytelling is set. The gunplay, as far as PvE games goes, probably the best I've played. A lot of cool, gun customization there as well, and it's just it kind of leans into that realism, pretty good. So if you haven't played that, I guess it's technically upcoming because it's not full released yet, maybe. So that'll be my mention for the upcoming games to keep an eye on.
I missed it because somebody was talking shit on chat and Twitch, but was it Ready or Not, I assume?
Yeah, for me.
Yeah, that I would agree. I'm gonna second that one because I mean,
we're big fans.
We are big fans.
We make no bones about it.
Yeah, we're probably kind of biased, but Ready or Not, I mean, honestly, every update they've come out with has been great, and they've had problems, and like literally the next update after that, like they usually address those problems. They're very passionate developers, and I think that the end goal is going to be something the game industry has never seen yet. It's going to be,
and they are working on PvP right now. So for folks who are like, you're not like totally out in the cold. It's just not available for public use yet.
I'm keeping my eye on it because I really liked early Rainbow Six Siege. And I can see it.
Crash, I was telling you the other night on stream, Like, you need to get ready or not. You can play with us, me and Tyler. We are always down.
I'll do
Play
that.
it real good.
I think I have it. I honestly think I got it gifted to me, but I need to download it and play it. It looks cool.
Cool.
I've watched a ton of streams. I've watched a lot of people play it just because I was like blown away that they actually put that gritty of stuff in a video game.
I'm telling you, it's
Pretty rowdy.
Besides like the story content of it, like that game, you can go in and you can spend your 5-6 minutes like, you know, creeping around trying to figure out your game plan, and they get shot in the face and die and start all over, and like you're completely okay with it. It's weird. It has a weird magic about it. Like, we've died. This one map is called what is it called? What's the hotel with all the vets?
Breezy Cove.
Breezy Cove. That level is nuts.
Cove, but yeah.
Another thing about right now we didn't talk about is the AI in every level is different.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's a map with crackheads and they suck at shooting.
Yeah, everyone's high. They try and stab you with knives.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. But then you go to Breezy Cove and it's all these ex-military guys, and like they will, like, they're
You better be on your
M4s,
shit. You will be at the loading screen in no time. It is
Yes.
tough, but it's super cool to see. Like,
Yeah,
great. There's such like little details in that game, or like talking about like you go into the 213 Park Homes is the name of the mission, where it's like a crack house. You go in there, you're supposed to like confiscate meth and then try and take down, kill them. Like, they encourage you to do less lethal if you want. But yeah, I mean, then when you do go and play the Breezy Cove map, like actual weapons like M16s and military guns and things like that, stuff that like veterans would have. And then notice as we're playing it too, I'm like, that guy's got a fucking prosthetic leg. Like, oh, he must have been like a no shit war vet.
Wow.
Touches like that that tell you like
detail.
Oh, this NPCs that you're seeing here are way different from the NPCs other maps. It's really, you can tell that they care a lot about the product that they're putting. I can't recommend it highly enough. I also would disagree a little bit, DJ. Because we don't get anything out of it. Like, we know Jacob because we talked to him on our buddy before this, you know what I mean? And we literally just played it and we fucking love it. So outside of being a fan, biased.
I'm the exact same with Road to Vostok because he's popped in our chat a couple times, and I just thought it was really cool that he stopped in. But I'm genuinely excited to see what he can pull off and what's going on with that, because some of the work in progress videos is like he knows what makes a shooter game cool. He'll show like different kinds of nuances in animations and reload animations and leaning. And then I just think the immersion, like the visuals are super cool. It shows like the real life photos of him going through this actual area between Finland and Russia. And
that's so cool.
Then showing that shot in the game, it's like, whoa, like it's pretty
amazing.
Cool.
I was looking through some of the screenshots kind of as you were talking about it before, and I mean, it looks really promising.
Oh,
I think that
the other thing that he told me they were working on is Vostok radio. So there is a radio that, and like when you go set around your campfire, and it tells you about the weather, like the weather that actually happens in the game. Like if there's in-game events and stuff, it'll tell you about that. Goal is to make that an actual Spotify radio station. So even when you can listen to it, like you can listen to Vostok radio like live and stream it even when you're not in the game.
That's
super
dope.
cool. Super
cool.
That's a good show.
While we were been talking, I just commented on his one of his posts. I'm like, hey, come on the podcast, and he liked it. Hopefully he follows through and we can get him on. That'd be fucking dope. I'm gonna look into this game now.
That Spotify radio inclusion is so like that. I love when creatives get creative. You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought to do some type of crossover? I mean, the only thing I can even remotely think that would be like when you're playing Fallout. You know what I mean? And sometimes you'd be like, I'm in the mood to listen, like, you know, country tunes from the 40s and 50s. Let me go listen to Big Iron while I'm, you know.
I have that on
But
my
instead of
Spotify
playing-
playlist because of that, because of Vegas.
And the the Grand Theft Auto radio you flip through while you're driving your car and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, classic
out to-
Vice City radio.
Coulter Walford from an artist that I'm a big fan of. So
Yeah, another
Anyway.
topic we could probably base an entire podcast.
yeah, dude,
after is
we're
music.
burning time now. So
Yeah.
Okay, can I get one more in real quick to look
Yeah.
fire off, dude. Go
super
for
fast? Okay. Embark Studios, they're actually working. A lot of former DICE developers went over there to start their own studio. So the
Mhm.
Battlefield games that we love are on that. And the game that they're coming out first is called The Finals.
Yep.
And it looks like it's going to be kind of an arena shooter, but destruction is going to be a huge part of it. So they've talked about how changing the map and things come into the strategy. It looks like it's actually got some really crazy environments and maps and things like that. But it's like these different cities and cityscapes and stuff, but it's inside an overall arena. So it's kind of like a game show. But you can see in the trailers and stuff that they're, kind of followed in the Battlefield footsteps of destruction. Like you can blow out walls and change the way like the map plays and stuff, but it's going to be like an arena shooter with a lot of destruction. And then they're also working on a really cool third-person PvE game called Arc Raiders, but that's going to come out a little bit later. And it's kind of like the trailer in Arc Raiders is amazing because of their song choice. They have Robin Dancing on My Own. It's like awesome. It's like a perfect song, but like it has a really cool like 80s vibe, but kind of like Star Wars Battlefront, but it's about these aliens, and then you and your crew go out and you find them on the map, and then you kill these aliens, and then you take parts off their ship and stuff, and you can craft stuff for your base and craft new weapons and stuff like that. So it's really interesting. But the Finals is a FPS that's going to be beta testing fairly soon from past DICE developers at Embark Studios that I'm looking forward to seeing what it's like.
I'm gonna keep your eye on. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well-
Well, guys, thanks for coming on the show. This was a lot of fun. This was like by far and away our longest episode.
Sorry.
No. That it's been a blast. I really enjoy it. We'll have to do this again sometime, but if nobody else, tell the people where they can find you. So, Travis, if you want to go first, and then Josh.
Yeah, the easiest way to find me is Crash Games on YouTube. And if you filter by channel, I should hopefully be the top one. And then FPS_Crash on Twitter.
Cool.
Yeah, for me, you can find me personally on Twitter at Jashinya. That's JASHINYA. It's mostly voiceover stuff and just stupidity that comes out of my mouth. Otherwise, I mentioned Games I Guess podcast. You can find that on my friend's YouTube channel, as well as like all the podcasting platforms like Spotify and all that.
Can confirm it's on Spotify.
Yeah, and on YouTube it's Whizfish, which is his channel, so you can find it there if you prefer the video version. But he's like, he's all old school and like, you got to be audio only.
That's that's the episode. I watched your first episode and kind of got a kick out of him being a game. Ever having admitted to not listening to podcasts.
I guess
so.
I guess I should say you can find the scope on all the major podcasting platforms as well. I consider it more of like a live news show is how I've tried to produce it on YouTube, Twitch, and stuff. But it is an audio only version. You can find it there. So
cool.
That's actually how Casey sounds like too. I just want to point that out. Yeah. So how he sounds in the podcast.
DJ, find us and then we'll wrap up. It's totally fine.
So you can find us at www.twitter.com/pixelspores. You can also find us on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, everywhere you listen to podcasts, Pores and Pixels. You can Google us. We are Googleable now. Until next time, folks.